people walking around in the world. Woo! I get so fired up about this one. No doubt about it, this is the most common. Hi, my name is Mollie Mason. I am a holistic nutritionist and a wellness coach, and I am absolutely obsessed with helping you show up for your brightest life. I have helped hundreds of women find relief from their stubborn symptoms by addressing the root cause, by clearing their Candida overgrowth. And today we're going to talk about signs of Candida. 8 main symptoms to look for, how to know if you have it and if it is actually the root cause of your symptoms. Okay, but first, let's just back up for a second and talk about what a Candida yeast overgrowth is. Let's see if I can do a 60-second Gut Health 101. You have over 100 trillion microorganisms living in and on your body. You have 10 times the amount of microorganism DNA than you have of your own. You are quite literally more microorganism than you are yourself. These microorganisms are a mixture of bacteria, protozoa, viruses, and fungi. And they live in a really delicate balance with your own body cells, mostly inside your gut. And they actually perform really important functions for your body, like digesting your food, modulating your neurotransmitters, metabolizing your hormones. So Candida albicans is the most common yeast fungus that you have within your gut flora. And in the right amounts, it is a healthy part of your microbiota. But due to a variety of causes, which are unfortunately very common, when your Candida overgrows and it grows above your healthy normal range, this is considered a Candida yeast overgrowth. The reason this can cause so much harm is because when the Candida overgrows, it just throws off the entire balance of all the other microorganisms. It's so much more common than people realize. 9 out of 10 people have a Candida yeast overgrowth. That means 90% of people walking around in the world have a Candida yeast overgrowth. So let me guess, when I mention fungus or yeast, you think of 3 main things: vaginal yeast infections, oral thrush, which is a white coating on your tongue, or skin infections like athlete's foot, right? Those are the more common, visible, tangible symptoms that we see. But the truth is that a Candida yeast overgrowth causes so much more than those 3 things. So let's cover 8 sneaky symptoms that I think you might be surprised are connected to Candida. Sign number 1, brain fog. I'm starting here because no doubt about it, this is the most common Candida symptom I see with my clients. Nearly every person I work with in my Kill the Yeast program says that brain fog is one of the symptoms that they see relieved almost immediately. One of the main byproducts of Candida is acetaldehyde, and what that can do is actually inhibit the brain's uptake of neurotransmitters, which quite literally slows our brain function. So if you have trouble concentrating, if you feel like you're slow in communication, in conversations, if you feel like you're spacing out, that is so often a common indicator of Candida overgrowth. Sign number 2 is digestive issues. So this shouldn't be a total surprise because when we talked about a Candida overgrowth, we're talking about that starting in the gut. Everything from gas, bloating, constipation, diarrhea, any end of the spectrum of digestive issues can definitely be an indicator of Candida overgrowth. And it's important to note this might not always manifest in actual pain or discomfort. It is very possible that your digestive system, your gut, is not operating as it should. You're not properly absorbing nutrients, and you might not experience that in what people assume digestive issues are like, where you actually experience pain when you eat. Sign number 3 is skin issues. So I mentioned one of the 3 that most people most often think of when it comes to yeast is skin infections like athlete's foot. But the truth is, any kind of skin issues, whether it be acne, dermatitis, eczema, rosacea, any indication of inflammation coming out in the skin can absolutely most definitely be caused by Candida overgrowth. Sign number 4 is food intolerances. So this can actually range everything from allergies, intolerances, sensitivities. Any range of a poor reaction to certain foods can definitely be an indication of Candida. So one of the really important functions of your microbiome is maintaining the structural integrity of your gut lining. And what happens, it actually allows food particles to leak into your bloodstream where they're not supposed to be, and therefore they can cause any range of inflammatory symptoms. This is why if you have done a food sensitivity test and you're like, what the heck, I'm allergic to literally everything that I eat, this is exactly why. It's not that you're actually allergic to these foods, it's that these foods are leaking into parts of your body that they should never be, and your body is mounting an immune response. So because of that, food intolerances can manifest in more than just digestive discomfort when you eat, right? This is why people associate certain foods and food sensitivities to a whole range of things, like seeing it in their skin and their face, or headaches or joint pain. All of those things can be an indication that your gut is leaking these things into your bloodstream, and often Candida is actually at the root of that. Sign number 5 is mood disorders. Another crazy number for you here, 95% of your serotonin is made inside your gut by microorganisms. You know, serotonin, the neurotransmitter that makes us feel good, that makes us happy, that helps our brain process that we're safe, that helps our body process our emotions. With 95% of that being produced in your gut, of course, an imbalance in your gut microbiome, an overgrowth of Candida, is going to so often manifest in these mood imbalances. Everything from anxiety, depression, mood swings, all across the spectrum. I really believe there are important ways to support healing and relief through mental, emotional, and spiritual aspects. I do believe that depression, anxiety are more than just physical, but there is no doubt about it, a physical component to these things. And I think when we forget to acknowledge that, we're really doing a disservice to ourselves. There is no shame in these emotional reactions to this very physical imbalance. And unfortunately, Candida is so often at the root. Sign number 6 is autoimmune diseases. Almost 24 million Americans have a diagnosed autoimmune disease, and the truth is so many more are undiagnosed. This is near and dear to my heart because I have multiple autoimmune diseases. They are all over my family, and I know how much devastation these illnesses can cause in our lives. Y'all, 70% of your immune system is housed in your gut. 70%. And so of course an imbalance in this gut microbiome is often triggering an immune response. Rheumatoid arthritis, celiac disease, diabetes, Hashimoto's, MS, psoriasis, any autoimmune disease. And I can say not just for the many women I've worked with, but from my own personal healing journey, focusing on healing my gut and balancing my microbiome was one of the most important things I did for reducing my inflammatory markers. Now, just like anything else, there are of course many factors that cause autoimmune diseases, but so very often the research is leading us to the gut microbiome as one of the foundational pieces. Sign number 7 is hormone imbalances. Woo! I get so fired up about this one because this is such an integral part of my own healing journey with Hashimoto's and endometriosis and all of the hormone things. But it also just seems to be a factor for nearly every woman that I work with. One of the reasons hormone issues are so common for women these days has to do with the fact that we have environmental toxins that look to our body like estrogen in nearly everything. We are exposed to it through the food that we eat, through the products we put on our skin. Unfortunately, it's everywhere. And that is absolutely a huge factor in the rise in hormone issues. But it is important to note that hormone imbalances don't just have to do with your hormone production or your hormone levels. A big part of that has to do with hormone modulation, metabolism, and detox. And many of your hormones are actually metabolized inside your gut by gut microbiota. You have a specific strain of bacteria inside your gut called the estrobolome that metabolizes the vast majority of your estrogen. Again, like going back, this is so obvious when you look at it this way. Of course, an imbalance in this gut microbiome, having an overgrowth of Candida, is going to cause a suppression of these other healthy, important bacterial growth. So the estrobolome is often suppressed when we have a Candida overgrowth. And I will say too, this is actually an example of one of the things that works both ways, unfortunately, because estrogen dominance is one of the leading factors of Candida overgrowth. So it unfortunately is this horrible cycle that we can get into, but it does play both ways, and these are both such important factors for one another. And for our final one, sign number 8, sugar cravings. Have you ever felt like there is a sugar monster inside you? This is so far above just my desire for some sweets. There is a literal monster inside me. You're not crazy. There is a sugar monster inside you, and it's called trillions of Candida. Candida feeds off of sugar. That's the fuel that it needs to grow. Especially if you feel like you've tried everything to fight your sugar cravings, you've done all the right things to balance your blood sugar. I promise you're not crazy. It's not just a willpower issue. It's probably Candida. All right, there you go. Those are the 8 signs of Candida. There are so many other symptoms as well. Fatigue, sleep disturbances, ADD or ADHD, trouble losing or maintaining weight. I mean, the list goes on. So let me know, comment below, which of these 8 signs do you have? Which of these symptoms do you struggle with the most? The good news is though, I'm not just gonna leave you there to struggle with these symptoms on your own. I have amazing resources for you. The first is my Kill the Yeast program. This is my signature yeast fighting gut healing system. Hundreds of women from all around the world have found relief from all 8 of these signs I shared with you today through this program. It has everything you need to take action. It has meal plans, a supplement regimen, recipe guides, shopping lists, prep tips. I really give you everything you need to make this process of actually naturally and effectively addressing your Candida. So all you have to do is show up and get it done. If you're not sure if you have Candida, if you're a little bit confused on how the heck all of this is connected, that is what I created the Candida crash course for. It replaces a $150 test as well as a $200 consultation with me. There are 8 exclusive video trainings from me that really break down everything that I shared with you today, how all of these things are connected. I go into a lot more detail about the science behind this, so if you need to wrap your brain around these things, the Candida crash course really breaks that down. It also includes the exact same assessment I use with my Candida clients to score their severity. So you will start the Candida crash course by taking this assessment, which is a really thorough assessment of your symptoms and your medical history to evaluate if you have Candida and what your severity score is. So with 95% accuracy, you can save yourself the $150 testing fee and move forward with those answers. One great thing about the Candida crash course too is I really break down why most treatments don't work. So if you feel like you've tried everything and you've not found relief, in the Candida crash course, I really break down the science behind why those treatments were just temporary and why my signature system in the Kill the Yeast program is built upon 3 really important pillars that have to work together for lasting relief. So there you go, your 2 options to take action. If you don't yet know if you have Candida and you just need answers, go for the Candida crash course. If you know you have Candida and you are ready to take action for lasting relief, the Kill the Yeast program is waiting for you. Both of these are things you can grab right below. I'll link them for you. I want relief for you. I want freedom from these symptoms. You deserve that. You can have that. You do not have to suffer. I hope this was helpful. I cannot wait to see you take action, and I will see you on the other side.